include the players as well, because
No doubt.
it is the best field in professional golf.
There aren't any Monday qualifiers for the players. There aren't any amateurs. You're right. It is the best field as we take a look at Louis Oosthuizen here at 11.
Yeah, good shot for 164. Very inviting hole location, probably the most inviting on this hole. But the problem the players have, if you don't strike the shot squarely, the wind is kind of in and off the right, and that penalty area comes in closely.
And Carney, it looks like the wind has picked up just a touch, has it?
It has since we walked off the tee, and of course these players have been waiting in the fairway a little bit, but now Shane Lowry from the first cut left-hand side.
Got a little buffer behind the flagstick, a little slope.
Yeah, this one turning a little left, but it's not bad.
Yep. That kind of hit right into that slope that I was talking about, so he's going to have a pretty quick downhill putt.
We'll stay here now for Gary Woodland.
Just 151, as Billy was talking about, that slope was about 15, 18 feet behind the hole, so you can definitely use that. Good angle also for Gary.
It's also a good...
Yeah, I hit that shot.
Carney said that this was an accessible hole location, so that's something we'll keep our eyes on all day. Let's take a look at that one again from Gary Woodland. It's from a different angle.
Yeah, and flighted it perfectly. Carney was talking about the wind and it coming back into the players, but still mainly right to left. Maybe rode the wind just ever so slightly, and perfect. Now you've got it just exactly where you want it.
Back to the tee at 11. Koepka set to go first. And unlike the previous group, Koepka opting for the 3-wood here.
And I think it's a good play. You can make a more aggressive swing. You know, sometimes I feel like when he tries to take a little bit off the driver, sometimes comes up and out of it just a little bit. I really like it when he just goes ahead and goes full tilt.
He really got into a nice rhythm late in his round.
Yes, he did. You know, kind of that sketchy start. You and Stuart were talking about the triple bogey that he made at number 6, and but late in the round he got everything going. He just didn't make any putts coming in.
Matthew Wolff also with a 3-wood.
Needs to squeeze a little left. There you go.
So clearly he likes that one. Stopped on a dime. You can tell the golf course still just a touch soft.
Yeah, see if Keith can somehow get something going. You saw Matthew Wolff, his number +2 right now in the tie for 65th.
Well, that's one that you want to see after a double bogey. Stay off the edge there. Yep, good lie for him.
That's a large 3-wood right there.
Certainly is. Go back up to the green at 11. Lowry looking this one over, Carney.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty speedy putt. The ball just almost right on the top of that ridge. He is putting kind of crosswind from left to right. There's going to be a lot of left-to-right movement in this, but as it gets to the hole, it may straighten out just a little bit, but he's got to play this pretty well out to the left.
Yeah. All the grain going down. Boy, he sent that out a good 3 feet left, and then going down the slope, once it starts going and going with the grain and the wind and everything, it just picks up speed. And as a player, it is so hard to make yourself aim that far left on a putt of that distance, right? Because invariably you putt towards the cup. You putt towards the hole. You're looking way left, and then you look over to the hole, and then all of a sudden that heel kicks out from underneath and the ball drifts over to the right.
Yeah, there are very few players who are just strictly linear. It's hard to do. Louis Oosthuizen now for birdie.
And a really good look here. It's actually just slightly downhill, but not a whole lot. Should try to turn a little bit to his left.
Have that little bit of turn.
There's just so many little slopes that influence that. I mean, that had to be influenced kind of off the front left of the green to go right. But
Yeah.
again, you think again, the water's left. The ball's got to go left.
So a solid par start for Louis Oosthuizen.
That's what we've been trained to do, Carney. You look at the water, you look at the tilt, you look at the drainage, you factor everything in, you take a look from the side, and then you get fooled.
And you got the big slope to your right, too.
Exactly. I mean, it's, you know, everything lends itself to go in that direction, but it didn't. But now, I think this is just pretty much straight in.
Absolutely.
Good work by Gary Woodland.
Oh, that's a nice birdie. Well, if you can capture either 10 or 11 with a birdie, that's a bonus.
And the cleanup work for Shane Lowry.
Now, we've talked about the condition of the greens all week so far, and boy, they just look absolutely perfect. Certainly, this is the first wave of players on the golf course, but it's almost like, Billy, you sit there and you look at him, you say, man, I can't miss a putt if I get it started on the right line.
Well, a lot of guys will feel that way, and if you make a few early, that is hugely beneficial for the psyche.
For those watching our PGA Tour live coverage on Twitter today, we're coming to the end of our free coverage window. Remember, as part of our partnership with Twitter, we'll be streaming the first 60 to 90 minutes of our premium coverage from every round for free on Twitter. If you'd like to continue watching PGA Tour live today, subscribe via NBC Sports Gold or Prime Video channels in the U.S. or Golf TV, powered by the PGA Tour outside the U.S. Subscribe today and don't miss a shot this season. JT Post and Tom Lewis, top of the leaderboard. What a round that was yesterday by Lewis. Very steady, and posting under par today. So a lot to pay attention to. A lot of guys at -3. Harris English playing on a sponsor's exemption. Played well yesterday.
Yeah, he got off to such a quick start yesterday, Lisa. He was 3 under through 3, and he's playing well, still playing well.
Only 22 players in red figures. So.
Anything under par through 36 holes gives yourself a great opportunity to win the golf tournament.
And Brooks Koepka with some work to do to get to under par. Of course, that triple, as we mentioned yesterday, part of the reason why.
And just a solid shot right
Very
there.
Very solid. Swinging the golf club well.
Yeah, this is kind of a carryover, the ball striking that we saw at the end of the round. He just needs to see a putt or two go in. Maybe the speed was a little aggressive yesterday on a few putts, but all in all, looks pretty good.
Here's the man who just saw one go in for birdie, Gary Woodland.
Tee shot downwind here today, and with the back red hole location, you'd like to be down the left-hand side. And this is left, but further left than Gary wanted.
Boy, he knew it right away, too. Matthew Wolff now his second at 11.
Yeah, just send it about 15 feet right of the hole. Let the wind kind of drift it left, but that was just kind of hanging. Still okay.
Anything on that lower ridge, that lower level, early in the day is good. Oosthuizen now.
You just want to take it just left of that first right fairway bunker, and this one looks pretty good.
Yeah, the correction from yesterday at the end of the round where he hit a couple of quick hooks.
Yeah,
Being corrected.
1 OB that really cost him. Mitchell, now his approach.
And that's kind of what we saw yesterday. They say, you know, the miss to the left, long left, that cost him dearly yesterday. It cost him a double bogey on the 5th hole of par 3 and just never recovered. Much needed at the time, and good start to the bear trap for Shane Lowry.
Doesn't seem like much to ask for 5 birdies in a round, but you know, on an average, that's elite level golf for a full season, and that would definitely be elite around this golf course to be having 5, because you know you're going to drop shots. I mean, you really are going to drop shots, and you don't want to have any ones, what I like we're just saying, you know, silly or soft drop shots like Louis just there. You just, and birdies just give you the breath of oxygen to know that there's something coming up in the future that might have to give this thing back. It's just when you have the days where all you see in your card is mostly an X and just the odd birdie, it's just hard to feel like you're going somewhere in the field.
Now Woodland trying to duplicate what Lowry just did, go birdie.
Yeah, as I read this, Billy, that little ridge that I was talking about Shane had to deal with, he's kind of left of it. This may have a little right to left in it.
He had that aimed left and got it in the right edge. It was,
I was going to say,
and you know what's scary as a player? He might think that now he's a high-end golfer, but he might think, yeah, roll good. I like how we read that left to right. Really, he just hit it sort of straightish and it caught in the right edge. So that's the thing. You'd love to get your caddy to stand behind you every shot and actually know. What do you get if a hole in one? They should give you something here.
Right
you get a
there.
giant. Oh no. Well, I'm just. Well, I guess you get a Honda. I was thinking a nice, maybe a mini bear, a bronzed bear.
Oh,
That'd be nice to put in the office.
Trophy.
Like
Trophy.
Augusta gives you a piece of crystal for an eagle anywhere you make
absolutely.
a trophy.
Okay, yeah, I'm all in on that one.
CRV looks good. That looks like that'd whip the kids to school.
Okay, see if we can get Keith Mitchell on board with a good iron shot. Get a couple birdies. Get this group back on track.
Now, Keith, is just a test of mindset. Look, of course, if your swing's off and you truly don't know what's going on, you can have those rounds. You're like, what the heck? What is it? And you unfortunately have to try and find out in the tournament. I never really found middle of an awful spell that I found it on the golf course. It was always on the range where I found it. But right now, he's, like you say, he's going to have to try and find something. He's got to go into the next tournament saying, you know what, I felt like I got a bit closer in that second round.
50% of the greens hit this week, and it's not because he has positioned himself poorly with the tee shot. That's a good iron shot. That was pretty much on line, pretty much where he's looking.
There's a point where the water's far enough away from the flag and the club you're hitting where the boogeyman is not under your bed anymore. You're not so worried. But I guess the issue here is knocking it left in that trap. You get a little pull action going on it, and you've got, well, no room. You saw what Louis did from just on a relatively simple lie on the fringe. So the bunker will get some use today, but even the little push shot on this breeze will be fine, as long as it's hit to pin high, or even shorter pin high. A little weak shot is fine.
Yeah, that's a low trajectory right there, just totally under control.
And a green, it's got very subtle movement, which can be sometimes the trickiest ones to read, especially quick greens, because you're looking at them. You saw Butch before, the caddy doing his little step thing, trying to find where his natural spirit level is. And when you get a green like this that's not got a lot going on and it's pretty quick, tiniest half a degree is hard to see at all, but it makes the ball move.
Tee shot for Matthew Wolff. Again, elevated. Good shot. 20 feet right of the hole. So all three players on the green here at 15. Let's see what they do when we return. Back at the par 3, 15th hole, 179 yards today. Our featured group, all three players have a look from just about the same distance, but it certainly appears as though Matthew Wolff is going to be first to putt for birdie.
We get Carney to read the eyeballs out of these ones. This will be the test. He's gone silent. I'm going to say no. He's scared of the pressure I just put him under. So we've got pros with their names on the bags and caddies that get a check. Well, most weeks I think they get paid. Yeah. So let's see how good they are at putting all that together on a very flat, bit of a mundane green. This is a great viewpoint. This is a viewpoint I'd love my caddy to be able to see every time you putt.
You know, it's almost like you get the feeling that that cup just has just an ever so slightly tilt.
It is really tiny, and when you're putting well, you just seem to see these little things that other weeks you're like, I can't believe I didn't see that.
Good for weight. Now on the tee at 16, Gary Woodland.
I had a bit of a wait here. His tee at 13 very close. Gary doesn't really like this one.
Yeah, that was a pretty big looper right there.
That's loop to loop.
Hit it way left yesterday in the opening round, but now Shane Lowry.
Yeah, the wind is in and off the left. There's that low bullet. This is perfect down the left center of the fairway.
I love it when the big man chases it with that right shoulder down the line.
Yeah, you would know how to hit that shot by the time you're 10 years of age, I think, in Ireland or any parts of the coastal areas of the UK or Europe.
Just love the way he squeezes down on it. But now, Oosthuizen.
Speaking of love, it looks like he could do that 1,000 times in a row.
And it's a fairway metal down the left side of the fairway as well.
So let's see what they can do when they arrive at their tee shots. But now, Mitchell for birdie at 15.
I think he felt like that was going to leak right, like the putt before. But he might be almost on that sort of 6 o'clock straight line. There's not much in that.
Needs something to go in. Needs to see one go in. I mean, that's pretty much been the story for 2 days for Koepka.
You're just limited by the opportunities you're going to have out here. And what is an opportunity? I would say, you know, inside 20 foot's an opportunity, but you really don't make many 20-footers. They're not like you're going to make 2 or 3 a day. You know, you might have a hot day where you might make them, but on average, you're really starting to scare the hole when you're inside 15 feet. And it's just not like you're going to get a dozen opportunities to do that. You know, the average guy's going to hit it to 30 feet on average.
So, remains at +6. It's amazing how one little short miss, now all of a sudden the time taken on a short one increases.
I know, what a stupid game it is. You know, 99.9%, and I mean literally you make of every 2-footer you hit. But you've only got to miss that point of, and you're like, oh, what was that all about? What's going on?
Well, you can remember. You know, you go back in the memory bank and boy,
you want to delete that memory bank.
I mean, you just go, you remember locking up on the next hole.
Rip the hard drive out and throw it somewhere.
Well, that's where we stand right now. Tom Lewis, who played just an excellent round of golf yesterday, 66, tees off 125. Zach Johnson got off to a good start, kept it going. And Galloway played well again. Wyndham Clark, this guy that could take it deep off the tee. Brendan Steele had a chance to win at Sony this year. Maverick McNeely playing well again. And that's a look at the flagstick on the green at 16. I think much more accessible today, Carney.
Absolutely. It's this hole located in a position on the green where there's probably the least amount of movement. One of the things about this shot, it's elevated a little bit, but I think just enough with this green elevation to be a factor in the second shot. And it's kind of easy to overlook it because you're looking over the water and it doesn't seem like it's that elevated, but I think it's elevated enough where it is a factor.
That pin is definitely not intimidating today. Looking at the 2018 stretch, you go through 15, 16, 17, rated at 3, 4, and 1 for difficulty. Now, that is tough. Last year, this hole averaged 11. So it was middle rung on the difficulty scale, but that flag, the bunker will eat anything going to the right, so not as intimidating as that back left flag yesterday.
199 for Louis. It doesn't like this. Looks like he may have come over the top of this one a little bit.
Okay, pretty clean lie for Woodland.
Yeah, 197. The other thing these players are having to deal with today, there's a couple of pelicans that are fishing. So every now and then you'll see them jump up and then dive into the water to grab some food. But a good angle for Gary. You want to just put this left of the flag and let it drop to the right. And trying to get out in front of that to get that ball to turn right. And it came over.
It's going to work its way back down to where it's pretty much flag high. Lengthy putt, but 3 under par, tied for second. You just don't want to make a big mistake, and especially another mistake.
Yeah, those were certainly conservative efforts. Now from 175, flat lie for Shane. Trying to hold this one off a little bit as well.
Yeah, coming off a couple of birdies. I agree. Coming off the 2 birdies, everything's going nicely. You kind of get back in position, even par, and about the only place you don't want to miss it is taking a chance on hitting it into the water, the penalty area.
Yeah, I think he's got enough approachable room to get that up and down.
So now, back on the tee, Keith Mitchell. The distance this man hits it, Stuart, that number 63% in accuracy, I would define that as long and straight.
Yes, absolutely. You might think, what's 2, 3, 4% here and there, but that is the difference. If you're anywhere in that sort of range and that length, you know, you'd be focusing a lot on your 150-yard game or even 125 and in. If you start to get strong at that, and you have 2 or 3 good weeks a year, you're probably going to win.
Correct.
When you've got that length, and if you've got enough golf smarts, IQ, and you spend the right amount of time on those important parts of the game. Look, the putter is the strongest voice in the bag. I know they talk about these guys hit it so far and Bryson and all that, but man, the putter is the most powerful sword.
Koepka with the driving iron.
Sure.
Much better than yesterday.
A long way in though. That's a decent angle, but then he's got a great angle, but a lot of yardage.
if he has a lot of yardage left, Wolf is going to have to smoke this to get it near Koepka.
If that left trap spooked them with the throughwood, whether it's got them thinking, well, if I tug this a bit, I'm in that trap and I'm a real long way away. But we'll love to see some yardages coming in from those guys. It'll be, again, good angle, but there's some cool air and open out there, very open.
So we'll go up to the green, and looks like Lowry was okay, Carney, in the bunker.
Hey, yeah, he's fine. He's in the flat part of the bunker, and not a terribly difficult bunker shot. He's got plenty of green to work with. A little bit of a downslope off there, so you can land it short and just let the ball trickle out.
This is pretty much the bunker shot you practice all the time around the clubhouse when you're spending your 20 minutes in the trap. It's a pretty standard lie, standard upslope, standard distance. And a good result, though.
So a good chance for him to remain at even par. Now, Oosthuizen from the fringe. Still think it's got a lot in it.
Yeah, it should have definitely some left to right and then maybe back to the left at the end. The thing about it is it's kind of pretty much uphill the whole way.
You won't consider that a putt statistically, but if you want to feel like a three putt, you will not be alone. This hole dominates the three putt chances. At 247 three putts since 2007. On the fifth hole, well, it ranks, well, back there at 193. So it's just big enough to be dangerous. And late in the round, and then you've got to walk to the next tee, and depending on the wind on 17, you can be a little frazzled after a three putt here.
That's a lot of putting surface, but how much of it is usable for hole locations? I think that's the key. And then, boy, you get out of position, you're right.
I think it's got multiple pin positions, which is good. There's too many greens where there's like literally just enough because the slopes are too big or the greens are too quick for those slopes. Some courses we play. Here there are so many, and you're right, you have to miss it somewhere that leaves it in that, oh, okay, I'm okay position.
That's really good for pace there, Carney. Good line. All good.
Absolutely. And, you know, even though it was a lengthy putt, really, again, put it in a position where you're probably not going to make a mistake.
Going along very nicely, very calm. Played well yesterday. Continuing the good play today, 3 under par. Tom Lewis, our leader, yet to tee off. Just a little under 4 hours before he goes out. Get a good look at the grip of Oosthuizen there.
This is the third putt in a row from this distance for par for Louis.
Well, it gets a little taxing when you hit that kind of putt he hit back at the par 3 when he thought he made it. If they're going in, it's fine, but they start catching edges and you move to +6.
Yeah, well, you think, you know, how taxing this course is. I mean, I talk about, you imagine playing this quality of course every week. I'm like, I don't think you'd want to. We need to have a tournament where you're going to 20 under plus wins. You might only want, if the tour was filled with tournaments, the courses, this sort of quality, Genesis, at Riviera, you'd only want to play about 15 times a year, 15, 20 tournaments. That would be about it. You'd be stressing out.
Yeah, good up and down for Larry. Yeah. So as they go over to the 17th, We'll go back to the fairway. You can see the wind just left and right.
I think it was going to end up or it was going to keep rolling up the cart path, then down the cart path.
It's such a juice. What's it like? That's the defending champion's luck, right? You go up into those bags.
That's the best you got.
You got one.
195 in. And if you would have been cheeky, you would probably want to hit it no more than 190. And really from that flag, if you hit it at the flag, that would be your little gentle push, or the left edge of that trap would be your goalpost where that exit location is on the stands.
Let's drop it just in case.
Good line. Be really, well, it's going to get a little trickier, but he's not half a club too much. Just, you know, the wind, that was probably the right club. He hit that shot right now again, and he could land 10 yards short.
Koepka getting ready to play, but while he gets ready, we'll go up to the 17th.
Tell you what, I'd say some pretty generous hole locations at 15 and 17 today. I mean, even though it's close to the left side, this one 175 here. But it certainly gives you plenty of room to bail out, Stuart.
Yeah, and you're trying to find somewhere that makes you feel comfortable to go at that's not 60 feet from the hole. That's the thing. You know, yes, I can put it over there, but look what I've left. Today, I'd say, with the breeze, this is going to be much more approachable.
A good shot back at 15. This one working a little left to right here as well.
Oh, that's a beauty. I mean, he is pretty much right on the money right now. The golf swing looks so good. Now Koepka back at 16.
Again, right, that exit, you saw the ball take off, that's the starting line. Flag would be your maximum right shot. And you can tick the box for executing what was needed.
Well, that's the ball. Keith Mitchell. It looks like it's sitting pretty cleanly right there, just left of the cart path. So, as he studies that, we'll go to Shane Lowry.
Well, back at 15, Shane kind of matched Gary. Let's see if he can do it again. And the wind is off the right. This starts left, but kind of hanging to the left. Needs to sit down.
Flew in the bunker.
Yeah, you have to really, you have to actually hit towards the, and the wind looks like, Carney, I mean, you were there, looks down out of the left based on the water when we saw Gary's greenside shot shooting back. Is it downish out of the left?
Yeah, it's a little more left to right. Okay. The water is kind of moving. You know, it could be a little bit of help, but this hole is protected certainly down low by all these grandstands, and which these guys playing from a little elevated tee, get it above there, and you know, the flag is kind of going from directly down to left to right.
I think sort of go at it, and if it leaks a little on the wind, that's a fine approach back to the flag. Doesn't feel real natural to want to go at it with, and then have it drift right with that water, but that bunker, there's no joy.
Good shot by Louis. Kind of right on that brow, may work its way down a little bit, but now Keith Mitchell ready to play. So looks like he found the bunker. So Keith Mitchell with work to do in the bear trap. We'll be right back.